The lawyer's voice cut through the silence like a blade. "The heir to everything," he said, pausing just long enough for my parents' greedy breaths to fill the room, "is the one who kept my secret safe." Then his eyes met mine. Their faces twisted instantly. My mother's perfect smile froze mid-grin, while my father's knuckles turned white against the armrest. The chandelier's light danced across their diamonds, but even that sparkle couldn't outshine the shock in their eyes. For years, they thought I was gone, forgotten, erased, discarded. But I was always there, watching, waiting. I was 15 when they threw me out. No warning.
No goodbye.
Just the slam of the front door, and my mother's final words echoing through the rain. "You're a burden, Adam. You'll understand one day."
I didn't understand then.
All I knew was pain, the sting of rejection and the taste of rain mixing with tears on a night I had nowhere to go. It was my grandfather who found me. He didn't ask questions. He didn't offer pity. He simply opened his car door and said, "Get in." That night, something inside me changed forever. The boy who begged for love died on that doorstep. The man who stepped into that car learned that silence could be the sharpest weapon of all. My grandfather was a man built on secrets. He forged an empire through loyalty, leverage, and fear. And he saw in me something my parents never could control. He never said it outright, but I understood. He was grooming me, not out of affection, but preparation. He gave me tasks that tested my patience, my judgment, my restraint. And one day, he told me, the strongest revenge is proof of worth. Let them choke on their regrets. So, I kept his secrets, all of them, even the one that could have destroyed everything. Years passed, and I became the shadow behind his success, the invisible heir. Meanwhile, my parents rebuilt their lives on lies. Lavish parties, luxury cars, laughter loud enough to drown out guilt. When my grandfather died, I knew they'd come crawling back. Grief looks good on rich people when money's involved. They arrived at the funeral like movie stars, dressed in black, pretending to mourn. My mother's crocodile tears glistened for the cameras, while my father shook hands with board members he hadn't spoken to in decades. And then they saw me. For a heartbeat, I caught it, the flicker of confusion, recognition, and then discomfort. Their burden had grown up. When the lawyer began reading the will, the air grew heavy. My parents leaned forward, feigning patience, their bodies practically humming with greed. "The heir to everything," the lawyer read, "is the one who kept my secret safe." I felt the exact moment his words hit them. Their smiles collapsed. Their eyes darted toward me, searching for a loophole, a mistake, any possible escape. But the lawyer wasn't done. He cleared his throat and continued, "However, before the inheritance is finalized, one truth must be revealed." He turned a page. The air thickened. "My grandson, Adam, was not merely a child of this family," he read. "He was the only one who stood by me when the truth came to light, that my fortune was built on another man's name." Then the lawyer looked directly at my father. "The man who stole my company decades ago, who forged my name on contracts, who forced me to start from nothing again was you." My father's jaw fell open. The room erupted into chaos.
Gasps.
Murmurs. The click of cameras. My mother clutched his arm, whispering, "Is this true?" as if her world hadn't just caught fire. But I already knew. I'd found the documents months ago, buried deep in the archives, signed, dated, undeniable proof that my father had stolen his own father's empire. I hadn't exposed him then. I waited, because revenge tastes better when it's served under chandeliers. The lawyer closed the folder and nodded at me. "As per the final clause," he said, "the rightful heir, the one who returned the truth, will inherit it all." Silence fell. My father's voice trembled. You set me up." I smiled.
"No, Dad.
"You set yourself up. I just kept your secret safe long enough for it to destroy you." He stood, rage burning through his eyes. "You think this makes you better than us?" I met his gaze, calm, steady.
"No.
It just makes me free." Security escorted them out as their protests echoed down the marble hallway. Pleas, threats, curses, all meaningless noise. I sat alone in that grand office, the one my grandfather once ruled from, and stared out at the city he built. My reflection looked back at me, older, colder, unbreakable. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like a burden. I felt like a legacy. As the sun dipped behind the skyline, I whispered to the ghost of the man who saved me. They found out who took your place, and who earned mine. The silence that followed felt like applause. And just like that, the boy they threw away became the man they could never touch again.